So, I was completely wrong. Hello, my beautiful people. It's being Irrational, back again with another video, and boy, do I need to correct myself heavily. For the uninformed, I made a video talking about the Mcshay Weapon Pack 4 DLC. I made the video at the time of its release when these guns were still fresh on my radar, but now that I've had enough experience with all three, I can safely say that I had some terrible judgments about these weapons. So, I'm going to take another look at the Mcshay Weapon Pack 4 and see whether or not my opinions still hold, starting off with the Deimos Shotgun. Now, most of what I said about the Deimos Shotgun still remains true in my mind. It's still an excellent shotgun with mid to high damage in most ranges. However, there's one crucial thing I forgot to mention about the weapon. It has an alternative slamfire mode. What? The weapon sets for the Deimos don't ever list of there being a slamfire option, and considering how useless switching fire modes is, it's very likely that most people who own this DLC probably don't even know of the shotgun's other form of playstyle. What the fuck?! Okay, but for real. What does the alternate slamfire grant you? Well, the alternate fire grants a 200% increase on the shotgun's rate of fire in exchange for 25% less damage, accuracy, and recoil. While the slamfire is optimal for taking out large groups of enemies, and occasionally bulldozers, you're only going to be boosting your overall DPS, not your overall damage. Not to mention that without mods, the Deimos shotgun can only hold up to 5 shells at a time, meaning that not only will reloads be more frequent, but will essentially be doubled when using the slamfire mode. Luckily, the ammo economy on the Deimos is fairly forgiving. You can easily pick up 2 to 3 shells at a time per ammo pickup. Also, I forgot to mention this in the original video, but the Deimos shotgun's original reload is, painfully slow. I highly recommend getting shotgun CQB so that you can at least pump this sucker up to at least a manageable level. Overall, the Deimos is a fairly basic shotgun that will serve you well no matter what build you're going for, and even though the slamfire mode seems rather redundant, it's still one hell of a blast to use. Now, let's take another look at the Campbell 74 LMG, and I gotta say, boy was I wrong about this weapon. Keep in mind that I form my opinions from the perspective of a casual shitter who only plays on overkill and occasionally mayhem. So it should be no surprise that the moment I found out that an LMG was going to have an underbarrel flamethrower, I was all over that bitch. That's what I'm talking about! However, after playing with it a bit, I can confidently say that the flamethrower is not the best way to use this weapon. Huh? The best way to use it, in my opinion, is to just use it like a normal LMG. The Campbell has the potential to reach 100 accuracy and stability with mods and skills, meaning that the Campbell can be turned into a rather effective sniper killer. I have single-handedly cross-mapped more snipers than I have with the Platypus sniper rifle. An LMG is outperforming a sniper rifle. Excuse me? I also want to correct myself for saying that the ammo economy on the LMG is rather lackluster, because it's not. Simply grabbing the scavenger skill can greatly increase this LMG's overall runtime. Also, I failed to mention that the Campbell has an exclusive mod set. However, all it does is boost its ammo capacity in return for some decreased damage, which is never a good thing for an LMG. So I'd really only purchase the mod set if you're desperately trying to boost the gun's ammo economy. Other than that, the Campbell LMG is a very versatile gun that can be extremely effective when investing in the proper skills, or you can just say, fuck it, and go ham with the underbarrel flamethrower. I'm not gonna stop you. Now we get to the part of the video where I need to tell past me to shut the fuck up. In my previous video, I talked about how the Amaroq was essentially just a worse version of the Thanatos 50 cal. While I will say it's still significantly weaker in terms of damage and sheer stopping power, which I will get to later on, I can confidently say the Amaroq is better in almost every single aspect. Keep in mind that when I form my opinions for these weapons, I did so in the perspective of a level 100 player who has nearly every weapon in the game and has too much money in their bank account. I'm a millionaire! But put down a new player who just got access to every single DLC in the game, and we suddenly have a different point of view. The Amaroq 900 costs around $500,000 compared to the Thanatos' cost of $920,000. As you can tell, that is nearly a $400,000 difference. Not only that, but the Amaroq comes with 2 additional rounds in its magazine compared to the Thanatos' 5-round magazines. Not only is it cheaper, ammo efficient, but it also has the ability to be suppressed. And with its somewhat low concealment, you can actually turn this rifle into a crit machine. But this is where my praises come to an end, because everything else about this rifle is just meh. The main drawback that I've personally seen from this weapon is the pitiful rate of fire at only 40. Keep in mind that the Thanatos has a rate of fire of 48. Another thing to note about the Amaroq is that it cannot penetrate through some forms of body armor. What do I mean? Well, the Thanatos has an ability that allows it to pierce directly through Bulldozer's faceplates as long as you're not aiming directly at it. So for example, shots from the side of the head will pierce through. The Amaroq, however, simply doesn't have this level of penetration. Not just for Bulldozer faceplates, but with bullet penetration in general. So not only are you getting a less powerful version of the Thanatos, but you're also using a less efficient one. Is it cool to use the Amaroq for sheer coolness factor? Yeah, maybe. I will admit, it is pretty cool to use a Dragon Lord skin from CSGO and hear that classic sound. But would it be a weapon I'd use for sniper builds? No, not by a long shot. And this is where I reach my final thoughts. Do I still think the Mcshay Weapon Pack 4 holds up? Well, yeah, to an extent. These weapons are mainly built to fulfill the power fantasy of casual shitters alike, and considering I am one, no shit, this pack was right up my alley. But would it be a huge detriment if you didn't purchase this pack? No, you can easily get similar results from free or cheaper alternatives. So, is the pack worth buying? Do I look like I fucking know? I already bought it, so I can't be the one to judge. It's your money, buy whatever fits your fancy.